What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, good morning. It is the Jaguar Journal. Glad to have you guys waking up bright and early with us. Perry White, Brandi B Harris here in the studio. What is this right here? What is that? You firing it off?
Firing it off. But boom. The mind is the only weapon that doesn't need a holster.
You know what they say?
That came from Paul Blart Mall Cop. I love that quote. I don't know why.
Say it again for a little louder for the people in the back.
The mind is the only weapon that doesn't need a holster. You got to do the... at the end.
You powerful this morning. You're powerful.
How are we feeling? Let's check in. Before we get started into the depth of the show, let's check in. How are you feeling today?
How am I feeling? I'm feeling good because I love football. And you know what? Today is Southern University spring football. It is in the air. I love the idea of tailgating, going out, enjoying myself, hanging out with people, walking around Jaguar land, right? And going into A.W. Mumford Stadium. There's no greater feeling. And that's where I'm at today. How about yourself?
I am just enjoying all of the springtime festivities and events. You know, spring is a very short time in South Louisiana because it just immediately gets hot again. So I enjoy festival season. I enjoy the spring football games and all of the events, you know, the downtown activities. It's a lot more leisure friendly this time of year, this in the fall. I think in South Louisiana. Yeah,
give me a reason to have a drink and hang out with friends.
Yeah,
and
you could be outside. You can actually be out and be comfortable and not like melting into the ground. So this is that one time of year when you can do that. So
and I'm a pool guy.
I enjoy that.
I'm always at the pool.
Oh, any body of water, I gotta be there.
Okay. All right.
I've got to be there.
I knew you was all right.
Whether it's the pool, you know, even just sitting by the river and enjoying a little cocktail or, you know what I'm saying? I really, really enjoy that. So this is the best time of the year to just be out, sit outside, eat crawfish with a little daiquiri, or
there you go.
Just eating snowballs outside. I enjoy that.
There you go. South Louisiana girl is just oozing out of it. You just can't help yourself.
It does.
All right, big day, Southern University over on the other side of town, the north side of town. Yeah. You're going to have the spring game, a lot of events surrounded that, and you've been able to follow up and find out about those events. Talk to us about that.
So there's more than just the spring game happening. So if you are going over to A.W. Mumford Stadium today to enjoy the spring game, to get a preview of the Jags and first-year head coach Terrence Graves, You also have an opportunity to go over to the Mini Dome. If you go to the Mini Dome, they're hosting a health and wellness fair. It's full of a lot of resources, free screenings, free massages.
I need one.
Pause right there. Did you hear what I said? Free massages. This isn't the first time they've offered this. They offered the same thing for homecoming over at the nursing school, and it was a big popular hit. So I think if more people go and take advantage of their free massages, they're going to continue to do that for more events.
I need that elbow right there.
Now, don't go making the line all long because you heard me say that they're doing that today.
Oh, make the line long. Put them to work today, okay? When you
let Brandi and Perry cut the line since we promoted it this morning. Okay.
Yeah, I need one. They need that elbow right there in my right back. Oh, my God. It just.
But as always, Southern University doing its job of being like a community hub, not just a place where kids are registered and, student athletes are getting scholarships to play football. They are a community hub. They want everybody to be a part of this. So just like Perry's going to drive over to the Bluff to enjoy the spring game, I encourage everybody to go over to the Bluff and enjoy some of the other resources that they have available today. They want you to enjoy a spring Saturday morning on the Bluff.
Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Beat me there. Come on. We love that.
All right.
What are you expecting to see out of the spring game?
I've been going to practice, checking them out. And for me, I'm just looking at polishing up. I don't expect too much. It is the spring. You're going to have a lot of coming and going. These days with the transfer portals, it's going to be somebody. Just recently, I saw offensive lineman Bryce McNair, who I thought was going to return and be a part of this team, put his name in the transfer portal. Then you're going to be bringing in guys as well that are going to be transferring in from other programs. So I just want to see the development of the guys and what they look like at this point, and what do the new coaches not necessarily new coaches because this is a returning coaching staff just with a couple pieces here and there. But what do they look like gelling together now that Coach Eric Dooley, who basically brought all of these coaches in, what do they look like now that he's aside, and was he the problem? What was the issue that we saw last year? And a lot of people assumed that it was him as the issue because offensively, in which he was the offensive coordinator as well, Southern struggled. And the big thing was, and we heard it here a lot on the show, was the quarterback position. And so for me, that's going to be big. And I'm looking at the offensive line today. I think that is key when you look at any team and want to have a dominant presence on the offensive side of the ball. You have to have an O-line. And so I'm just looking at polishing. My expectations are not up. I'm putting it out there.
They're neutral. They're in the middle.
They're in the middle. I understand.
You have no expectations. You just want to make observations.
And Coach Graves, although he's a seasoned assistant coach, he's been around a long time. This is his first time at the helm. And for a lot of times, I know we live in this instant gratification world where everybody wants success at the snap of a finger.
They want a championship. They want a championship. That is the people want. They are hungry for dominance.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
And the Jaguar Nation is just, oh my God.
Can I make a football adjacent but non-football related assessment? Okay. So Coach Dooley, his fashions were very upfront. Everyone made note of it. I saw the comment.
That was Gucci Mane.
Coach Graves and this sightly side hat. That is going to be the new, not a bent brim, and it's not tipped up. It is slightly to the side, cocked to the side, just a little bit. That is his fashion statement, and I want to see more Jaguars wearing that hat to the side because that is like his signature thing. Every time I see him, the hat, it's never quite to the front, and it's not a bent brim. It's just slightly to the side.
Yeah, he's like the uncle that when he shows up.
That's exactly. You better say it. That's what it reminds me of.
He go and get you one of them cold drinks out the back of the truck.
We got Cokes over there. That's what it reminds me of, and I appreciate that because it makes it feel like I think like someone said on the show a couple weeks ago, he's a player's coach. Yeah. So it feels like you're going to be comfortable with him. You know what I'm saying? So the spring game is going to be a big test for observations, I guess, for Jaguar land.
It is, and we're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk to Tramel Howard of the SU Quarterback Club. They have some things that they're doing today, fundraising, trying to help the program. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. More of the Jaguar Journal.
Danny Johnson, first and foremost, outstanding young man, great character, great young man. Can't say enough about him. Great father. You always see him, hanging around with his son and spending time with his son and his family. As a player, I can't say enough about him. He has all the athletic ability that you would want in a kid with playing corner, the footwork, speed, all the intangibles.
I have a good work ethic. It's been a lot of times, in the off season, like I just push myself to go work out. Even if nobody else was out there, just to get an extra push when we get back into the season. Because I always want to have the edge over everybody else. So it's just that mindset that I have. I want to be one of the best. So I got to push myself. If anybody else does. And it's like a lot of stuff that I want to do with my son that I can't do because I'm playing ball. So my biggest return to him is just, having him come to games on Saturday. He can see his father play in front of, thousands of people. It makes him happy. So whenever he's happy, I'm happy. But just when I get the chance to just go home and, hear everything, he's been doing in school and, what he likes and doesn't like, it just brings me back to that fatherhood of just being around him, and that's what I like to do. I put academics over football because, I can't play football forever. At some point, I'm going to have to rely on that degree. So, that's my biggest thing, and that's one reason why I came to Southern, to get that degree. So I set myself up to where I'll be able to graduate right after the season. So if football doesn't work out for me, I can always come back and go to grad school. So, education is a big thing for me.
Danny Johnson put Southern University on a national stage. Obviously, everybody knows about Jag Nation and Southern University, but you'll see Danny Johnson playing on Sunday one day, and he'll be able to be an ambassador, for the university.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right, good morning to everybody out there listening on our YouTube channel, Facebook Live, and over the airwaves all across the Baton Rouge capital city area. I am Perry White, Brandi B. Harris. We are rocking and rolling this morning, and guess what? As we continue to show, it is the spring game at Southern University today, and because of that, there are activities, and one of the activities will be put on by the Southern University Quarterback Club, so no better person than to have this guy. And if you seen, I think he likes to call himself, he might be, how you have Lady Jaguar, he might be Mr. Jaguar.
Mr. Jag?
Yeah.
I think I could co-sign on that assessment.
Well, let's welcome him to the show. Good morning to Tramel Howard. Good morning,
Mr.
Tramel.
Howard. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Good, man. And then on this show, on our live, I actually found a picture of you with Lacumba, so I just thought that was fitting to show everybody that, there was plenty of pictures with you with the pom-poms in the stand, but I said, here's one with his best friend, Lacumba. Let's rock with that.
I appreciate that.
I think it shows that you about what you be talking about.
He about what he be talking about. Bow, bow, bow. All right, Jamel, the SU Quarterback Club. Talk to us about the Quarterback Club and the activities you guys have surrounded today's Southern University spring game.
Yeah, good morning. So first of all, thank you guys so much for having me this morning. Just like everybody, we are excited about a new edition of Jaguar football with our new head coach at the helm, Coach Graves. And so today, to celebrate the spring game, we are having a fundraiser. This is our inaugural, our first time doing this, fundraiser for the spring game tailgate. Spring game tailgate is happening today. So the fundraiser begins at 11 o'clock. We will be out there until probably 2:30, 3 o'clock. You can purchase tickets at the game. We will be inside of Jaguar Stand. For folks who are not familiar, it's basically the area between the east and the west side, right by the gate where the band marches in. So the Quarterback Club, we are here to raise money and raise funds for the Southern University football team and other athletic programs at our institution. But today is really about fun, fellowship, and, of course, Jaguar football. So we look forward to seeing the folks out there today at 11 in Jackson.
Now, you're talking about a fundraiser. Now, what do you guys, what is it that I get when I pull up? What is it?
So when you get there today, we have boiled meat as our tailgate specialty today. prepared by none other than alum Nathan and Joy Jones. So you'll get boiled meat plate, you'll get a soda, a drink, and just nice fun fellowship. And all of our funds go directly to support Southern University Athletics. So come out, have some boiled meat, have a drink, and just real fellowship as we prepare for a championship season on the Bluff. We are claiming it now, so let's started right.
Now, Tramel, we literally just said that the fans in Jaguar land, they have very high expectations. So tell me this, what are y'all wanting to do with the fundraising? I know with the quarterback club, you're going to support the student athletes on the football team, but what's the goal? Is there something special y'all want to do for them?
Yeah, so we are trying to contribute at least $10,000 to Coach Graves this season by August, just for the general funding of what happens or what needs to happen with the Southern University football team. So our funds today are going to, again, give that $10,000 contribution to Coach Graves to ensure that he's off to the right footing as Jaguars. And our job as alums, as supporters of the institution, are to do whatever we can to drive revenue. So even if you can't make it to the game today, $25, we spend that on a weekend or, after work. So just do it for a great cause, and so we can help Coach Graves and his program get off to the right foot. If we want to be champion on the field, we have to be champions off the field. And the way that we do that as alumni supporters is by contributing our resources to the institution. So looking forward to an opportunity to support Jaguar football and fellowship with folks in the Jaguar Nation.
Now, give us a little history lesson about the SU Quarterback Club. They have been around for a while and been an integral part in terms of athletics, specifically for the football program. What's the history lesson? Who all involved? And if anybody out there wants to be involved with the Quarterback Club, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, so the Southern University Quarterback Club, I think it's hilarious that I'm now, not hilarious, but it's like full circle moment that I'm now the president of the Quarterback Club, because one of my first bus trips attending Southern University football was through the Quarterback Club as a little kid walking around with a royal blue warm-ups to go to a football game. I think we were going to Natchitoches at the time. So the organization, the club, has been around for many, 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 many years. And truly the goal of the organization is to support Jaguar athletics, specifically football, but we tap our hands into all sports because we believe that, if we don't take care of our own, who will? And so the club has literally been around for many years, looking to execute the vision of being ambassadors for Jaguar athletics. And so that's what we hope to continue to do. And so the club, you can join our organization. We have a website on the foundation page, so sus.foundation.org. We have a Facebook page, Southern University Quarterback Club, a Twitter page, SUQB Club. We do a weekly podcast during football season. So there's a litany of ways. My email address is tramelhoward@gmail.com. If you have questions, thoughts, concerns, we are getting ready, actually, Perry, on Monday to launch a Southern University athletic survey and really want to collect some data about the experience of Jaguar Nation within Jaguar athletics. And so we can help collaborate with the institution to make the experience for Jaguar fans better. And so our organization is literally that. We are ambassadors first, fundraiser second, and really just trying to elevate the brand of what it means to be a part of the Southern University Jaguar Nation.
Okay, Tramel, let me ask you this, because I love that you said that your first memory of being with the Quarterback Club was as a kid on a bus trip to a game. I literally just said before we called you that Southern University does much more than be an academic institution. It's a community hub, right? So many of us grew up going to programs and events and bus trips attached to the university or university adjacent. Is that what people can expect if they join the Quarterback Club, that I can bring my 9-year-old, to experience athletic events and on that part of enhancing the experience for fans? Is that a part of what y'all want to do for more families and part of the community to, experience Southern University athletic events?
Absolutely. I believe that our institution, so I grew up right behind in Fallonville, and also known as the Field. Shout out to the home team. So I grew up right behind the gates of Southern University. And so to your point, Southern University has always served as a community hub, not just for people who are alums, not just for people who attend school there, but literally the Fallonville community. I tell everyone during homecoming time and then other times on the institution, literally Southern University is a part of the integral adjacent community in Fallonville. And so that's exactly what the expectation is. Our expectation for families, for friends, is to really get a part of the institution where they feel like they're a part of it, and our club is serving as a conduit to help you get affiliated and help you support the institution. So, yes, you can expect bus trips. You can expect opportunities to bring your families to games. You can expect just experiences. And so we want to create an experience, an elevated experience that really puts the best foot forth of the brand of Southern University. And so that's the hope of the Quarterback Club and the affiliate organizations that we work with. We are excited to support Southern University athletics and the institution as a collective in any possible way that we can as supporters of the Jaguar Nation.
Let me tell you a story about the SU Quarterback Club. Right, I can remember my first bus ride. Shout out to Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed, that's my dog right there. When I first got here, I didn't have a vehicle when I moved here to Baton Rouge, and he saw what I was doing. As at the time I was doing sports writing for HBCU Digest. HBCU Digest. Jared Carter had asked me to do some reports and writing for him, so I was like, man, how am I going to get to the game? So I used to go to the weekly press conference, the coach's press conference, and Mr. Ed just drew a liking to me. So I forgot where we were going. I forgot the trip. All I know was he was like, hey, man, you got to ride to the trip. I'm like, no, I don't. He said, man, come on, you'll be my +1. Man, listen, we listened to Tucker, ate crackling, had drink. Look, it was
That's what it's all about. That sounds like that's what it's all about.
It was a hell of a ride. I enjoyed myself, man. And look, that was my introduction to really be around people. And one thing I want to extra, man, because like you said, it come full circle. Being a young kid and then growing up and now being the president, was it tough to get people, that older generation who typically kind of keep everything close guard to understand that, hey, here's a younger generation that's coming up. How can we now pass the torch to the younger generation and try to open us up to the next generation to allow this thing to continue to grow instead of stagnate out just with that older generation?
Yeah, great question, Perry. But before you even answer that question, if we're talking about the same Mr. Ed who still rides the buses to the football games, that's actually my uncle. So
Mr. Ed, Friday Fish.
There he is. So we are a family tradition of being ambassadors for Jaguars football and athletics. So yeah, I think that was a tough conversation, Barry. I think and team, like that was a tough conversation because I think people oftentimes understand the power dynamics and feel like you get power in order to, or power control or whatever you want to notify it or call it, and you get it to keep it. And really, I think one of the integral parts of like eliminating that existence is that you really gain power to empower the next generation of leaders. And so as an institution, as an organization, like I think we need to do more of that. It's like, how do we invest in the younger generation to really uplift and take our university to the next level? And so that was my mantra for the club. And so it took some time for people to, you young, what are you doing? How are you going to be the president of an organization like this? And it's really just about how do we elevate the university? I think no matter if you're the younger generation, the older generation, our goal is to uplift and elevate Southern University. And so how do we do that collectively? And so, and if you don't allow us to do that, we want to sit at the table. And so if you don't give us a seat, we'll create one. And so I think that's what this is a part of doing, is just creating a seat at the table. And then, like for some people in the older generation, once you show them like you're about the business and you're about uplifting and elevating the institution, they'll eventually get on board. And so we had some very tough conversations at the beginning, but we have found our footing, and we are trying to continue to elevate that footing, all in the hopes of elevating Southern University. So this is not about Trammell. This isn't about Kedrick or Ms. Angel or anyone else in our administration. This is truly about how do we collectively uplift and elevate Southern University. And so that's my job, and as long as they'll have me is what I'll be doing until we win the victory, as the fight song so graciously says.
So y'all had to stand on business with that older generation.
10 toes down. He said we were serious about it. Well, Trammell, we certainly appreciate what the Quarterback Club is doing and how y'all are trying to elevate Southern University, which is obviously all of our goal and our job as alumni to make sure we continue to elevate the institution. So we thank you for joining us this morning.
And Trammell, one more time before you leave, let the people know where they can come for the fundraiser and how they can be a part of the SU Quarterback Club.
Yeah, so you can purchase tickets on site today at the spring game. We will be out there from 11 to 2. Tickets are $25, and we look forward to seeing you guys today to support and cheer the Jaguar on to a championship season. I want to make sure I'm clear about that. Championship season, so that the powers that be can hear that we have very high expectations in Jaguar Nation.
All right, Jamel, thank you for coming on, man. We enjoy you. Make sure y'all put a little meat to the side for Brandi. Now just put a little meat to the side.
Little plate on the side.
Plate to the side.
Come see us today, and we will take care of you guys.
All right.
You have a good one.
Tremel Howard, he is the president of the Southern University Quarterback Club. Good to have him on. Go out there and support it. Good cause. We always talk about what we need to do to elevate our program. I know a lot of talking on social media. Here's the time for you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. And like they say in, in Coming to America, while we appreciate the money that jingles, we would rather the money that folds.
And on that, we got to get that money that folds because we got to pay some bills.
That's right.
So let's pay some bills. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket, and his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing. Nice catch made.
The receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on 3rd down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time play.
Guys, stepping up like they go.
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there.
We got to get that sound effect so that I don't have to keep doing it. Do we have it?
Say less, microphone.
We're gonna have to make that happen. That's like my favorite sound effect. It's so multi-purpose.
We got you.
It's multi-purpose. It's like, what up?
Miss Brandi B. Harris, Perry
Good
White.
morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Let's keep things rolling this morning. Let's talk about some Southern University tennis. And here's a guy they call him Championship Conyers, right? And if you don't know who that is, you're about to find out. He's my guy all the way from over there in Georgia, but now calls Baton Rouge home, Coach Jeff Conyers. Good morning, Coach Conyers.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Perry, Jaguar Nation, and guest host.
That's Miss Brandi B. Harris.
Okay, how you doing?
Good morning, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's early this Saturday morning. A little early, got practice later, and followed by the spring football game. Going to see and support Coach Terrence Graves in his first spring game. So, looking forward to this morning's activities.
if I can probably picture you right now, you're sitting somewhere with your leg crossed, having a drink of coffee.
Oh yeah, I got my legs crossed, kicked up, crossed out, sitting outside, but I don't have the coffee as of yet. I think I'm gonna try to get about 1 or 2 more weeks before I get that coffee in.
Coach, man, it's good to have you on, and I know that's what Roman Banks. Every time I hear he say championship Conyers, and that's because you have run one hell of a program over there at Southern University when we're talking about tennis and being able. And then not only that, your coaching tree, and we'll get into that. But right now, the main thing I want to talk to you about is the current season that tennis is in, and something that is special that I think is huge, and we haven't had an opportunity to really talk about it much here on the show. The addition of men's tennis to Southern University athletics right now. Give us a rundown of what's been going on both on the men and women for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. That's one of Coach A.D. Roman Banks' visions this year and the past couple of years, recent years, was to bring back men's tennis, not only men's tennis but also men's and women's golf. So he and administration at Southern University finally decided, hey, this is the year. So this is first year since 2008 with tennis. I'm not sure. I can't remember what year it was when men's. Well, it was 2008 with the women's golf team. I'm not sure when it was with the men's golf team that went away, but definitely with his vision, bringing the team back, it's been an adventure. It's definitely brought out more competitiveness on my women's side. So it's definitely helped that because women were down a little bit. So it's brought back a little more energy, a little more passion, and a lot more energy. So been fortunate. Unfortunately, this year we weren't able to have enough players. Well, we had enough players, but enough is not enough. You know what I'm saying? When enough is not enough, we have the minimum players, 4 players. So with the 4 players this season, it made it kind of difficult winning a whole bunch of matches this year. But we'll be ready this coming fall. We got some players signed right now. And we're looking forward to trying to bring back that championship trophy back to the yard on the men's side. Women's side is going good. They're fighting hard in the conference. Right now we sit in 4th place, going to championships this week. The guys finished, they sit in 6th place for the championship next week down in New Orleans. So we look for good things, definitely on that women's side this year, and then definitely next year for the men and the women.
Coach, for the people who don't know, Southern University tennis has a very rich history. Perry called you championship Conyers, and of course, there's more than 24 SWAC championships between the men's and women's team across, Southern University athletic history. So, what is the game plan? How do we get the men's team? If y'all didn't even have enough guys to really compete heavily, how do we get it back to championship status?
It's recruit and bring in players. Again, we brought in three guys. We signed 4 guys this season. 3 guys made it in. 1 didn't make it through the NCAA. So recruiting players right now. Again, we've up to 5 right now. Looking to sign 1 more guy for the next fall. So we'll be there. That's the only thing. Recruit and retain.
I got to ask a question because, I may not be the fondest to know the depths of tennis, but what does that look like recruiting a collegiate tennis player? And the other part to that is, are African-American men and women playing tennis at a high level to be able to go out and recruit high numbers, especially to HBCUs?
Oh, Steph, they're playing at a high level. You just got to get out there and search for them. Each year we start off, we're fortunate to be able to get out there on the road and recruit. Each summer we'll start off in Mobile, Alabama for the Southern tournament, Southern Region tournament with USTA. So we'll get out there. We see some good talent. It's just about trying to get them to believe in the Jaguar Nation, get them signed up. We've been fortunate in the past years to be able to bring in some good players from a couple of good players from the state. They're sprinkled out, and then you gotta fight with a whole bunch of schools to try to get them in here, HBCUs and other schools out there. But we've been fortunate to we start off in the States each year when we start recruiting, and then we branch out and try to get some players out of the Caribbean and out of Africa. So that's been our bread and butter the last couple of years.
Now, Coach, I know, like we were saying just now with Tramel Howard, that, Southern University is not just an academic institution, it's a community hub. I grew up spending every summer at camps on the campus, every summer till I graduated high school at camps on the campus. I know that they have a lot of athletic camps. And just to piggyback on what Perry just asked you about recruiting Black kids to play tennis, are y'all going to host any tennis camps just to kind of open up that opportunity to the kids in the community to learn how to play tennis and maybe find the next Arthur Ashe or Venus and Serena for the SU Jaguar program?
Unfortunately, we've never been able to have a camp on campus, Ms. Brandi. We just don't have the personnel in the summertime with my sport. Most times, with my international kids from Africa, Caribbean, kids from the States, once they finish up that spring semester, they're out of here. So I never had the personnel to help me with the camp, had the personnel to have a successful camp, I'd rather say. If I was to have one on campus, I would like for it to be very successful, and that personnel just not there to have it.
Well, they call you championship Conyers for a reason. I want you to go through, tell the people out there who may not even know much about Southern University tennis, the championships that you have won, and as well as the coaching tree, because you have a coaching tree that extends very far out here in the world of collegiate tennis.
During my tenure, we've been blessed to have a couple championships out there, Mr. Perry.
Come on now, a couple championships.
I don't know the number right now offhand, but we've been blessed to have a pretty good program. Right now, that's the main thing. I've won a whole bunch of championships at Southern, and we're trying to get that those championships back to Southern. A couple of teams think it's theirs right now, but we're gonna be back on the helm soon. We're back. We're gonna get it back soon. So that's what I have. I need some more jury, and I know the kids would love to have some more jury. Get some jury while at Southern. But definitely, we also during that time we matched a couple of players out there that are doing their thing. Close to home is Gabrielle Moore, doing a wonderful job. A wonderful job at McNeese. She had the team number one in the conference up until last week, I think. I think they'll go into their tournament number 2 as the number 2 seed whenever their tournament is. They had a tough one with Texas Corpus Christi the other week. Other than that, we had Darnisha Moore coaching as well, but she stepped out into she went over to the United States Tennis Association down at the Orlando campus. So she's doing a wonderful job now. She may come back to coaching. What I'm telling her, stay put right now because she's doing some wonderful things. I saw where she's trying to get off into the pro ranks right now doing some coaching. So we're looking for some good things to come from her in the future. And then we have our Lois Alexis over in the Big Ten, coaching at the University of Minnesota. So we've been blessed to have some good players to walk out there in the coaching ranks. Very proud of all of them. They're doing a wonderful job.
Well, Coach, man, we appreciate you coming on this morning and having a conversation with us and enlightening us about the program, giving us some insight. There's a lot of people out there who may not have known, and now that you do know, how can they be a part to help out the program, Coach? If you guys need anything, what is your contact, or what ways can they get in contact with anyone that helps that program for donations, sending recruits, whatever the case may be?
They can always reach out to me, Mr. Perry. They can always reach out to me, Jeffrey_Conyers at SUBR.edu. That's my email address. Or simply go on the Go Jag Sports website search men's or women's tennis, and they'll get my contact information. Always looking for assistance when it comes to Southern University tennis and Southern University athletics. So I appreciate y'all having me this morning. It's been a long time. I definitely want to answer the call this time to get on with you all today.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you. Championship Conyers.
That's
what a
it.
name.
That's
what a
it.
title. We appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing a great job. And go Jags.
Go Jags.
Go Jags. You have a good one.
That is the voice of Coach Jeffrey Conyers, Championship Conyers, Southern University head tennis coach, men and women. So I want to thank him coming on and talking to us about the program, getting us some insight.
Championship program.
And considering he said with no resources and what he's being able to do.
They're getting it done, yeah. Isn't that not the story of Southern University in many, many facets?
Just plant the seed and watch it grow.
That's right.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We got to plant some seeds and watch it grow. And it's in the form of commercials because we got to pay some bills. So we'll be back. Stay tuned, more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White. And what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
Yeah, what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
Really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. He throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss. And a nice catch. Ricks on the 1st and 10. Little draw play. Takes it outside. He's got the 1st down.
But Ricks.
Film.
I'm hype. I'm sorry. The way I just turned up when I heard that sound. Oh, my God.
One more time for him, Mike. That just it do something to him, Mike.
Yes. So next time somebody makes a big announcement on this show, we got to hit him. Got to hit him with the bomb. Oh,
well, we got a big announcement today. It's the Southern University spring football game, Mike. Hit it, Mike. Look, that's when you get something you don't know how to act. You just wear it out now.
So excited. I love that. Thank you so much. Y'all can't see him, but he's putting in work back here too.
And if y'all see her, you see how excited she is. Just, she's oh my God. She's just one more time for it, Mike.
Yes, we love that. Good morning.
Good morning.
To all of our friends and family out there in Jaguar land on this beautiful Saturday morning. What a beautiful, beautiful start to the weekend. Friday night was beautiful. This weather is beautiful. I mean, it's going to be a great day to be on the bluff for the spring game, the Southern University Law Center Health and Wellness Fair over at the Mini Dome. All kinds of activities happen on campus today.
Yeah, beautiful day for it. Beautiful day to bring the family. I see these are the type of days when you talk about building legacy and showing the next generation what it is that you love so much about your prestigious alma mater in Southern University. These are the days you bring them out and you just let them run off. While the grown folks doing it, y'all just go off because you know you in good hands when you're on the campus. You know, and a lot of times I really hate it when the out-of-towners, when I say the out-of-towners, it's our fellow SWAC foes when they always have these made-up stories that somebody has told them about. Oh, my God, Southern, they just do this and do that. And people in Baton Rouge have these made-up stories, too. Just come over there and check it out.
Check it out for yourself. I truly do not allow people who did not matriculate through the university to talk any of the, come on over. I'm going to invite you over. I'm going to open up my arms. You are welcome to come with me to experience it. You know what I'm saying? To see what it gives for yourself.
I don't think nothing else needs to be said. It's just that simple. And I always tell people, if you're listening, you've never been on the campus of Southern University, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that listen to 107.3, because this is a diverse audience. We're talking white, black, and whatever else, and typically don't get that African-American viewpoint here on this station. But if you have never been to the campus of Southern University, listen, it has the absolute most beautiful view in the entire city of Baton Rouge, sitting high on the bluff, overlooking the curve of the Mississippi River as it is coming straight into downtown, and that straight shot. Listen, I know on the other side of town, they got a levee, right? You got to go up the levee, and then it's nothing like standing high on that bluff right next to the Red Stick statue.
That's right.
Right, which is what Baton Rouge stands for, is Red Stick.
They've got some nice benches over there right across from the administration building. So if you don't know what we're talking about like the back of campus, he said, like by the Red Stick, right across the street from the admin building. Beautiful views. Perry not about that life, but grab you a little sack of crawfish.
Listen,
some snowballs or daiquiris and go sit out there on the bluff and enjoy the view, enjoy the breeze, and enjoy this beautiful spring weather.
I got that play in me now. I know I ain't no fool. I know what to do. I've been on many dates. Many dates sitting right there, you know, drinking a daiquiri or whatever else and eating a crawfish. So, yeah, I know the spot very well. That was one of my little go-to spots. You know, I just met something walking from the calf. What's up with it? Let's go on over here to the...
Grab that little to-go plate on a Monday. Bring it on over there. I know that's right. I know that's right.
Sound like you've been on a date.
You already... That's how I met my husband. We are both third-generation Jags. We take the Mondays in the calf seriously.
Oh, you want some of that chicken?
You already know.
You want some red beans?
Chicken and red beans. The fact that I saw him in there in the line on a Monday, I was like, I think he's going to be my husband.
Really? You pointed him out like that?
We already knew each other. It's a long story. But
like, you blew my mind.
The magic really happened on a Monday in Mayberry while we were both in line for chicken and red beans. How quintessential of a Southern love story.
Oh, my God. So do y'all treat Mondays at home that special?
I wish he did. I try to always nudge him. Let's fry some chicken and make some beans on this Monday.
Or how about y'all just go on a date to Mayberry one day?
Maybe we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do that. But today is a great day. If you want to you don't even have to bring food to the bluff today. You can just head on over there to Quarterback Club. They're going to be whipping them pots. We've got the spring game happening over at the football field. And then, of course, at the Mini Dome, like I've been saying, there's a health and wellness fair from the Southern University Law Center where they're offering free massages.
Yeah, I need that elbow in my back now. I don't need that little play massage. I fell asleep on the couch not too long ago this week, man, and I don't know. I just kind of was wrong. You know, sometimes you're
aging yourself.
What you trying to say?
I'm saying only old people be like, oh, my neck and my back.
Mike, do you hear this?
Up, my neck and my back.
Do y'all hear this that's listening? Look,
y'all got to hear him when he stands up from his chair. It's always like,
They telling me I'm going from big bro to unk, and I can't accept it yet.
Let me make sure I say this though. I do want to make sure that everyone knows about this health and wellness fair because I believe that's starting this morning at 9:30, from 9:30 to 2. So you can literally go before the spring game, get your massage, check out your blood pressure, all them other health resources that they're going to have available. Go holler at our boy Tramel Howard, who we talked to earlier in this hour, for the quarterback club. They're fundraising to support the SU football team. They're going to have boiled meats and more, and fellowship,
You damn
which is
so
always fun.
Better go check your blood pressure before you get some of that boiled meat.
It missed messaging, but it's okay. We're trying to reach everybody in the community to make sure that they are ready for a wonderful spring on the bluff. Spring Saturday on the bluff.
Spring Saturday on the Bluff. Terrence Graves, first-year head coach, taking over the program. Coach Dooley out the way. Terrence Graves in the way. Now he has the program. Going to be a big day in terms of watching some football. A lot of people aren't that excited sometime about spring football, but then you're going to have those out there tailgating. I know y'all out there right now pulling up with the RVs, firing the grills and the pots up, cranking them cans and popping them bottles and enjoying yourself, because guess what? That's what it's all about. And I love it because a lot of places don't have that much pride. And I love the pride that we have here at Southern. So glad to have you guys with us this morning. Perry White, Brandi B. Harris, it's the Jaguar Journal. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Follow us on our Facebook. I know people are watching on our lives on both and listening to us on the radio. And so we love to have you guys follow us on both of those, because at the end of the day, as much as we talk about support for the school, we need your support right here. We are the only show in Baton Rouge. First of all, let me tell you, the only African-American show in this building. All right. But second of all, that talks about Southern, where you can get inside information. We bring that to you. And because of that, support us the same way we support our institution that we love, because we got to keep this thing rolling to tell our stories, because if we don't, who will? And like my man, Dr. Everett Gibson say, they won't tell it like it ought to be. So, all right, let's get ready to take a break.
Hold on, Mike. Hit us with that horn as we go out.
Yeah. We're at the top of the hour. When we come back on the other side, we're going to have Jim Kleinpeter, writer for The Advocate, talking to us about the spring game. And, of course, you know, we're going to break it down and talk about some players, who's coming, who's going, coaches, and everything else. So you guys stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
Southern was a little late to the game of football. They had started earlier in the CIAA up at Hampton and those schools up there. And when J.S. Clark became president of Southern University in 1914, he had already visited the Tuskegee and these Howard and the other schools, and they had a football program. And he wanted to compete with them, not just in the classroom, but also on the football field. So it started as an intramural. We had intramurals when we first came in 1914 through 1916, 17. And then the intramural program evolved into the varsity, into the football program in 1918. Coach Big Charlie Holmes from Colorado State, he came here as an assistant coach, but he took over around 1922, 1923, and he did very well through the early 20s. But he came up to 26. He broke even. He expected to do well, and 27. I don't find any records where he won any games there, and he was replaced. But the person he was replaced by was a legendary. Name is Bryce Union Taylor from the University of Southern California. Out there, he had been an All-American. He was the guy that stopped the four horsemen of Notre Dame, and then he went to Chaffin University in South Carolina at 27. In 1928, he became the head football coach at Southern University and athletic director, and he really put Southern on the map. He had a lot of firsts. First of all, he had the first All-Americans we had came under him. Therefore, he had the greatest winning percentage in Southern University. He won 85% of his game here, and he had our first undefeated season in 1931 when he was 7-0, and but he was not declared national champ, but he was considered for that. But he was our first great coach during that early period, Bryce Union Taylor. We don't want to forget him. Arnett W. Mumford, he's a national icon in coaching. He had coached 10 years in Texas, Jarvis Christian, Bishop, and Texas College. But the last 5 or 6 years at Texas College, he was very, very outstanding. He won 2 SWAC titles, and he had won a national black championship at Texas College and 35. So therefore, Southern was interested in getting him here, and Dr. Felton Clark was very instrumental in the person to get him here. But his impact it goes much further than Southern University and State of Louisiana. He won 12 SWAC titles, 10 of them at Southern and 2 at Texas College. And he won 5 or 6 national black championships. And also, he was very successful in the first interracial bowl game, the Fruit Bowl in San Francisco in 1948 when he played San Francisco State. And he won that game decisively. But his influence extended much further than the boundaries of Southern University. He was recognized nationally as a great coach. His winning record, he didn't coach over a period of 35 years, and a couple of those years they didn't have teams because of the war. But he won 246 games, second only to Eddie Robinson with his 402 game over 55 years, I should add. And so always had loyal supporters, and they would follow the team everywhere they would go in large numbers. So Southern became the team that everyone loves to beat, loves every Saturday. It's the toughest game we have every Saturday. So if they don't win another game, they figure if they win the Southern game, they had a good season. And because we carry a large crowd with us everywhere we go too, so a lot of people like that. And we like to brag about how good we are. And of course that helps out. But it is a vista to the university, using the football athletics period to use that way to introduce the university to people who may not have known the university. Went through a period of 20 years, 30.
All right, here we go. We good, Mike? I thought we was going to hit the... Yeah, I mean...
Good morning.
It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there listening. Good to have you guys with us. I'm Perry White, Brandi B. Harris.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful Saturday morning. What's set up to be a beautiful Saturday on the Bluff. Beautiful Saturday in South Louisiana.
Beautiful Saturday in South Louisiana. A lot of things going on. And, of course, football is going on right there on the Bluff of Southern University. Nobody better to talk football than my guy, Jim Kleinpeter. Jim, good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning, Perry. If I wasn't awake, I am now.
Hey, hit him with it again, Mike. Wake him up, Mike.
Man. Okay.
Jim, good to have you with us this morning, man. Look, this is the most wonderful time of the year for a lot of Jaguars because guess what? We may say we like those other sports, and I do. I get it. But football is king in the South, and it is particularly here in Baton Rouge. And people just love to read the articles that you put out, including the birds that we hear in the background.
That's right.
They know it's
They're
football.
ready that they know that it's spring football today.
They cheer. I hear it. They ready.
There'll be an A.W. Mumford today.
Hey, let's talk about it, Jim. How has the week wrapped up as we come to an end today for spring football for you and what you've been seeing with the program?
Well, it's pretty much spring is pretty standard. I think they're a little short-handed. So they weren't going to try to do a whole lot of stuff. They had a couple of scrimmages. They didn't do too much hitting, but saving it for today, I guess. They got some things they need to do, and then some things they need to address. Going forward in the transfer portal, and then in the off-season conditioning. But today is just a little bit of a treat for the fans, a little taste of what's to come in September, and. It'll be a good thing, especially if Southern can go out there and look, like a better program than they were last fall. So it's mostly about being organized and not trying to overdo it and overthink it. Get some good snaps for the quarterbacks. Get everybody good snaps, and then pick it up in the fall.
What can fans expect today, Jim? A lot of people have it in their mind that this is going to be a scrimmage like it's a gameplay situational. But what can fans expect when they show up to A.W. Mumford to watch this game?
Well, I don't know you're going to see, trick play every other play or anything like that. They may throw a couple in there. But I think you're going to see the basic pass patterns. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to, try to get everybody the kind of snaps they need to make them a better player. And you really want a guy like Noah Bodden. And, I don't want to anoint him the starter, but I don't see how it's not going to be him. And you want to get him as comfortable as he can be So you want to give him repetitions that are, basic and, do the basic plays. You add the complicated stuff later on, when the situation gets real. So, and then I think that you want to see the freshmen, the two redshirt freshman quarterbacks, you want to get them snaps. I got to believe they're going to sign somebody in the offseason, a veteran who can come in and not be shook up by being in the game. But maybe they won't. I don't know. But you want to get the freshmen some snaps too, because you got to get them ready. There may be a time that next season where they've got to come in and perform.
We look back at last year, and for you, Jim, I had to ask as we go into the spring, what improvements for you personally as you cover this team and saw the way we ended last year and ultimately Eric Dooley being fired and then coming in with Terrence Graves as the first-year head coach? What improvements would you like to see overall for this team getting ready for the 2024 season?
Well, they need to be a little better organized. I just thought last year, the 2 years under Dooley, both years, the team got worse as the season goes on. And I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'll argue with people about it if somebody wants to disagree with me. But I saw an offense that got worse as the season went on, both years. And you got to turn that around. That's exactly the opposite of what you should be seeing. They should be getting better because the season is not static. It's not just one game and then the next game is different. It's a progression, and you need to see. Noah Bodden needs to be a better quarterback in Game 4 than he was in Game 1, and better in Game 8 than he was in Game 4. This is what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And you didn't see that the last 2 years. And that's because of organization. It's because of where the focus is. And I think from talking to the players, they really like the offensive coordinator. And I think having an offensive coordinator separate from the head coach is going to work wonders for this team.
So let me ask you this, because I think I was under the impression that this was going to be a quarterback competition to see who's going to be the QB. But according to you, there's one player that Noah Bogdan kind of sure this up?
Well, I think the coaches, and the reason, when the coaches tell the media stuff, they're not ever telling us the truth. They're not going to tell us the truth, because what they've got to do is they've got to keep the two freshmen interested. They got to keep them thinking that, I do have a chance to win this job. And I'm not saying that they can't. It's just unlikely. And Noah Bodden has got so much more poise, and it's just from being around long. It's just from being older that he's going to not have to worry about things like picking up whether or not the defense is going to throw a blitz at him. And, just not having too many things in his head at one time, knowing how to prioritize, knowing how to go through progressions, all that stuff comes with time. And these two freshmen, redshirt freshmen behind him, haven't had that. Last year, they didn't get a lot of snaps in practice. They went through the whole season. They got comfortable in the program and doing the things that they have to do daily. But as far as getting snaps, those snaps in practice are valuable. Those snaps in spring are valuable. And they're going to catch up a little bit, but that's what I'm saying. And they're talented. Believe me, I believe that they are talented. I've seen their numbers from high school. So they're just not quite ready to go in when you got seniors coming after you, senior defensive linemen and blitzing safeties. A freshman can get really shook up in that. And Noah Bodden is just ahead of them in that respect.
Jim, for you, when you look at this transfer portal, because it is a whirlwind in college athletics, any updates of any guys possibly hitting the transfer portal or have touched the transfer portal?
Well, you said it. The transfer portal is like a whirlwind. I could jump in there and try to find somebody, but I'd get lost. And I think Coach Graves has talked about this. He didn't want to say too much. He didn't want to say that, we're definitely going to go get a quarterback out of the portal. He's not going to say that until after spring's over. He wants those freshmen to stay engaged. He wants those freshmen competing every play. He wants them to think that, they do. They're right in the mix, and they are. They're going to be ahead of any transfer portal quarterback that comes in. What they're not going to have is that experience, and that doesn't mean he's necessarily going to bring one in, because if he's going to look in the portal, he's going to see. First of all, you got to have somebody available, and then they got to be interested in Southern. So you're not going to just sign a quarterback just to sign somebody. So he's got to find the right guy. He's got to, it's got to be the right fit for him. And, they may even go after some linemen. I don't know if they're completely happy with their offensive line because they don't have a lot of depth in the spring. They're using a lot of walk-ons for the number 2 offensive line. I don't think they have enough scholarship guys right now. So they got some guys coming in the summer. They signed, I think, 4 offensive linemen, and 2 of them are coming in this summer or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what the number is. So, and you may need a couple of defensive linemen too. So you may see them get kind of active depending on who's available.
Now, Jim, I think the last time we talked to you a few weeks ago, and if it wasn't you, excuse me, but mentioned that Coach Graves is a player's coach, but he does have a coaching staff that's a lot of returning coaches. So how is he working with the coaches to build this program up as his first year and at the top spot?
I think he's doing a good job. I talked to the players. I think the players were just relieved they've got a players coaching staff, not just a head coach. Every offensive player I talk to, they love Mark Frederick. They can't say enough about it. And Coach Graves, he's the kind of guy I'd like to go and sit and have a beer with and just talk about. Let him tell me about football. Just let him talk. Not ask him too many questions because he's friendly, he's amiable, and I think that relaxed nature trickles down to the coaching staff, and that from the coaching staff it trickles down to the players. Being relaxed and being able to play, it's very, very important not to be uptight. I never met a more uptight coach than Eric Dooley, and he did some things well, I guess, but that guy was constantly walking on his tiptoes, and he was afraid of saying anything wrong, and so he never said it. And I think when you act that way, the players pick up on that, and it's not necessarily a conscious thing, but when you see the coach acting that way, then that trickles down too. So I think with Graves, I mean, who doesn't like that guy? I can't think, I described him one time, if he had a beard, he'd be Santa Claus. He just seems like that friendly, amiable guy that would be anybody's friend. He'd make 5 friends as soon as he walked into the room.
I think Jim just came up with a great idea for the football team this Christmas is have Coach Graves dress up as Santa Claus and visit the kids in Scotlandville.
With the hat cocked to the side.
Yeah, with the hat cocked to the side. I love that.
Jim, I got to ask a question too. You look at this program and we talk about offense and defense a lot, but what does special teams look like right now for Southern?
Well, he said that's one thing he was specific about. He's going to bring in another kicker punter for sure. And I don't know how hard those guys are to find, but during the spring, Joshua Griffin handled the punting and the kicking whenever they needed it. But they had a walk-on too, and I don't know who that was, but they had a walk-on to give him some breaks so he didn't have to take all the reps, because that is important to give. That's why you need extra quarterbacks. You need somebody to throw to the receivers when the quarterback's arms are tied. So I think for special teams, they got a lot of guys. A lot of the guys that they're bringing in that are going to be backups are going to have to move up to special teams, because the guys that were playing special teams the last 2 years are moving up into the lineup. Guys like Leroy Bowers, he may continue to play special teams, but he's going to be playing in the starting rotation a little bit. They got one of the best place kickers in the conference, I think, in Griffin. They got the all SWAC deep snapper. So they do need to find a punter, and punting can really hurt you if you don't get somebody who's consistent. And we've seen that in the past. They lost a good one. Beauplan was a pretty consistent punter. He could send the ball downfield a good way. So that's going to be a key. That's a key for special teams is getting that another punter in there, because I don't think you want Joshua Griffin handling both jobs.
What about the return game as well?
Okay, well, I think they found the guy last year with Chandler Whitfield. I know they struggled with it a couple of years ago, but Chandler Whitfield, and even though he dropped one last year, he's confident back there. I like him as the punt returner. He had a couple of nice returns that were partially nullified by blocking the back penalties. Between him and Braylon Morgan, I think they've got some good speed, and they got some guys coming in, I think, that can maybe help out there. I don't think you want to, unless you've got a starter, in the first 22 that's exceptionally good. You kind of want to, you don't want to burn them up on special teams. I got to believe Chandler Whitfield will be the punt returner, and Braylon Morgan will be back on kickoffs too. I think they want to use Braylon Morgan, like a lot of teams, as a hybrid wide receiver running back, because he's got some electric moves when he gets out there. You saw it a couple of times last year. They finally got him into the game, but we may see some of him.
Well, Jim, let me ask you this, because I know that everyone has a lot of eyes on the spring game today to make their assessments about the team. But what do you think the number one thing the coaches are looking for? And when we leave out of this spring game this week and start heading into, looking at fall practices and workouts and things, that they're going to be their top priorities for the coaching staff?
Well, I think they're going to look at individual positions. I can't say which ones those are, but they're going to see who competes the hardest, who's improved. Because they're going to have to improve from whatever they do today is going to have to be. They're going to have to show improvement in August, and in August, from the beginning of August drills to the first game, they're going to have to show improvement there too, and they're going to see who wants to play. And I'm not talking about just starters. Who's battling? Who's that number 2 and number 3 guy? Who's competing there? How hard are they fighting? How much do they want to move up? And this is pretty basic football. It's not position specific. Every position is like that. So they got to know, and this is a coach cliche you hear all the time. Who can we count on if we put them in the game? And so that's what you want. You want to see which of the guys. I think they pretty much know who their starting lineup's going to be, but who's going to come on? Who's going to improve in the fall. In a preseason practice and step up and be a reliable player.
I know we have the spring game today, but I have to ask you because I've seen you at the practice and I know you've been right there covering it. If you can give me right now the best position and the worst position that you feel leading up into the game today.
Ooh, boy. Okay. Well, I tell you, I like. The running backs and wide receivers. They're good there. They've got 2 returning people at running back, and they've got 3 wide receivers that have decent amount of experience, and that's good. They need people to step up. The offensive line is going to be tricky. They lost a lot of starting people there. They got guys coming back, don't have a lot of snaps. I love the defensive line, and I like the linebackers. Defensive line, you got an all SWAC in Kelby Givens, and you got. I hear Davin Cotton is just tearing it up. He's his old self before his knee injury. He was dragging it around last year. The secondary, they've been pumping up the secondary, but I got to see that before I believe that, because they've got some. They lost some talent. They lost an all SWAC safety in Jordan Carter. They got guys coming up that played a lot of special teams, that played in the rotation, got a few snaps. But, you got a big hole at one cornerback. You got Rodney Johnson on one side. You got a big hole at the other cornerback. That Luke Rose apparently is the guy. But whether or not he holds that spot, we'll see. He's been a pleasant surprise. That's one guy that Coach Graves talked about. But I say the secondary and the offensive line are where are the ones that need to be. They're the show me positions.
Listen, when you got a problem at the O-line, you got a problem. You got a big problem.
That's right. Yep. Your whole offense is going to sputter if you can't get it right. And that's why I'm saying they've got to get some depth there. Look, one thing I've noticed about watching Southern is people get hurt, and you can't. It's really hard. And I saw them play so many different offensive linemen. And if there's any position you need continuity after quarterback, you got to have an offensive line that operates as if all 5 players are on a string. And they know as soon as one moves, the other one knows what to do. Because if they don't, you're gonna see tackles for losses. You're gonna see sacks. You're gonna see offsides penalties and false starts. And that was one of the things that Coach Frederick talked about. This, he says, we got to cut out all these pre-snap penalties because nothing kills worse than that. Because There's no effort involved in that. That's just discipline, and that's something else. Look for that to see the offensive line and the pre-snap penalties in this spring game.
Well, Jim, now listen, I know what you mean about that because it hurt a lot of drives last year, which Southern had short yards to gain and got pushed back and ultimately made it 3rd and long when it could have been 3rd and short for very manageable downs to get that first. So that means a lot, and we saw that with the offensive line last year. So I'm going to circle that. I'll be watching that heavily today, and what I'm going to be watching, of course, everybody that know me know I love quarterbacks. I love quarterbacks through and through, and that is the position I love to watch. I'm definitely going to have the spotlight on the quarterbacks because I really want to see the young guys step up. I want to see who can get in that position and who can lead the team because it's more than just making the throws. It's also becoming and being the leader. You are the general when you're the quarterback. You run it. It all goes through you, and that starts with having the proper leadership. And I want to see who can take command of this team because what I feel this team need is some dogs. Like Coach Sanders say, I'm looking to see who's going to be that dog on this team. Who's going to have that look? Kobe Dillon is one guy who, if I can circle and give him impact player and say he's that dog, he has that look, I give it to him as of now. But I'm looking to see who else on this team is that dog because when the time counts and you're down in situations and you need, like we were at Alabama State last year, we were down. We were here at home with Florida A&M last year. We were down. We had PV. We were down. We need that dog to step up and say, you know what? I got it. And that leader to get the team riled up and rallied around them. That's what I'm looking for more than anything, that leader for this team, Jim.
Yeah, and just like with the coaches to the players, the quarterback's confidence trickles down to the offense. If the quarterback is walking around with good body language, showing confidence in his decisions, being able to, especially if the quarterback throws a pick, he's got to show that that's all right. We'll get him next time. You can't just say it. You got to exude it. And the more seniors you have on your team, they all do that. Okay, that they understand that. The freshmen don't. They'll get rattled quick. And that's true what you said about the quarter. I want to see these young quarterbacks too. I want to see what they can do. I want to see how much poise they show. Because if they freeze in the pocket, that's not good. That's something they've got to get out of their system or they'll never make it. But you're right. Guys like Kobe Dillon that have been around the block, those guys lead by showing the rest of the team, any adversity comes along, you just move past it and you keep thinking positive. And that's something that you gain from years of experience, and they do need those dogs. You're right.
Well, Jim, it's good to have you on here today, man. I appreciate you as always coming on talking some football with me. We could talk for hours. I know we don't have that time to do it, but I see you at the spring game today, man. And from Brandi and I, man, we appreciate you anytime that you come on and being able to talk. And I'm sure to the Jaguar Nation, they definitely appreciate it because the articles, every time I look around on Facebook and everywhere else, people are sharing it, people are watching and reading them. So, man, we appreciate you for what you do and all the work that you put in to give us the insight of Southern University.
Well, it's my pleasure, Perry. You can have me anytime you want.
All right, you have a good one, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandi.
All right, that's the voice of Jim Kleinpeter. Of course,
honest assessments there.
This is what this is about. We are honest here. We're not here to sugarcoat it, right? I mean, that's why people listen to the Jaguar Journal.
But Coach Graves, if you hear this, you have one job for Christmas. You can do the funniest thing ever.
Oh my God!
Christmas. And that is throw on a beard and cock that Santa Claus hat to the side. And go be Santa Claus this Christmas.
So you being honest, huh?
I'm being honest. You've got one. You could do the coolest, best thing ever. The funniest thing ever this Christmas. I'm not going to let him forget. As soon as I see him, I'll be like, Coach, it's nice to meet you, but how you feel about dressing as Santa Claus?
He should go read to the kids or something,
yes.
maybe. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it.
Show up with some bikes or something.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you can get them on your Love 225 show.
Already, the seed has already been planted. Don't say anything else.
Okay. Bring him on. We got some Black Santa. Well, listen, everybody, we got to get ready to take a break. Miss Brandi, you about to get out of here, huh?
I got to get on out of here. I am booked and busy on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
All I want to do is sit out on the bluff and eat crawfish. You have no idea. And I'm about to be ripping and running.
Yeah, so she's headed over. She has to go take over the news spot and wake you guys up if you're not listening on radio. The late bloomers that's getting up watching on television, she got to go wake you guys up. So, of course, it's good to have you back here in the studio. I hope you enjoyed it today.
Bow.
Bow.
Bow, bow. Mike, one more time for me as I leave. Please.
Look at Mike, one
Okay.
second.
There we go.
1 second.
All right, everybody. Well, thank y'all so much for having me again on this Saturday morning.
Well, thank you for, of course, you here on Saturdays.
That's right.
You're starting to, I think it's growing on you.
Yeah.
Is it starting to grow
I think
on
I'm getting comfortable.
Good.
I'm nudging my way to make a space.
It's a different space, too.
Yeah.
Of course, going from television to radio, it is different. We're a little bit more opinionated, and it's okay, you know, and it's tough.
Oh, you didn't know I'm spicy.
Oh.
Passionate is the word that they tell me
I like it. I like it. Mike likes it. Mike said last time, he said, man, that was a good show. We like that.
I'm just passionate, okay? But I appreciate all of y'all's support. I see y'all in the comments. I'm too scared to jump in the chat, but I appreciate all of y'all's support. And I appreciate major shout out to Mike. Y'all don't hear him, you don't see him, but he got the air horns this morning, and that just hyped me up so much.
One time for Mike. One time for
Bow. Yes.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. I'm going to come back for a short segment with you guys. On the other side, we're going to have Rodney Kirshner. He's going to talk to us. He's the Associate Athletic Director at Southern University. Talk to us about the game day do's and don't. Will the game be streamed? And all those other great things that you guys want to know. So we're going to fill you in on that. Brandi, thank you for coming in today. I'll see you next week.
I'll see y'all next week.
All right. Hey, we'll be back. Stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
Darius Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Well, Darius Skelton is a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the football. He's very good at throwing the ball down the field. We're going to work on this spring those intermediate passes, but down the field, he's one of the better down the field passes that I've seen.
Play action, Skelton going for it all, has a man, and hauling it in is Hunter Register.
And then when you talk about running ability, he has running back capabilities. He can go the distance. He has the speed to go the distance. He has the power, and he has the vision. And I think when you put that with a dual threat quarterback, I think he's the reason why we're so happy about this coming season.
Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake juke booth, baby.
Being a quarterback, man, it's not easy at all. It was hard being here and having the expectations to be the starter and not being the starter. It was overwhelming. Like, I was ready to play, and not playing when I was ready to play just made me kind of look at life differently and really think, should I be here or should I not? And I talked to God, and he just settled me down, and he told me to be patient. That's what I did.
Skelton, who started the last 6 games of 2018 for the Jaguars. They went 5-1. Their only loss to Alcorn State in the SWAC title game. Taking the jet sweep, and Skelton awfully good with his leg. Blitz. Register, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Nice grab. All who have had an impact here in the year lowing. Southern still. Skelton comes up for the 3rd time. Taking the jet sweep, he'll keep it. A good lead block as he cuts it to the outside. The fake to be.
All right, we are back. Man, I almost burped into this mic. I tried to breathe, and it just almost came up. Good morning to everybody, man. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. Miss Brandi B Harris headed over to the WBRZ studio. She's going to wake you up on television this morning, get the morning news going, and thank you to her for coming on here. She's listening over there. If she's in her car on 107.3. Thank you guys for watching and listening on the YouTube channel as well as on our Facebook Live. And guess what? I got a big announcement today. Hit it for me, Mike. We're going to wear that thing out. I just want you to know. So I'm doing a pregame show today, and I want you guys to tune in on my On the Yard network. I know if you're watching on our YouTube channel and our Facebook, you see me doing all the little side work. But on the Yard network, I'm doing a pregame show today for the spring game. We're going to start that at between 9:30 and 10. It's going to be me and Coach Pete Richardson. So I know a lot of you guys love Pete Richardson. He's like the father that spoiled you guys here at the Jaguar Nation. So Coach Richardson and I are going to be doing a pregame show. We're going to be recapping last year, talking about this year. I'm going to have Coach Terrence Graves, Mark Fredericks, and as well as Coach Miller. So we're going to talk to offensive, defensive coordinators. We're going to talk to the strength and conditioning coach as well as Coach Terrence Graves himself. We're going to be doing that right there at A.W. Mumford Stadium. So I'm just, hey, anybody out there listening, if you want to see the pregame show, go to the On the Yard Network, On the Yard Network, and it's going to be live streamed on Facebook as well as YouTube, the same way like how you watch this here. Coach Pete Richardson and I will be hosting that and talking to that, and that's through my On the Yard Network. Garrett Edgerson is going to be producing that. That's my boy right there. You can't nothing get through without my man G. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there for you guys because a lot of people want information, especially on game days, and you trying to see. We're not streaming the game, okay? Not us personally. Now, when we get Rodney on here, we'll talk about that. All we're doing is the pregame show. We're going to give you all the information that you want to know in terms of from the coaches. You get to hear from the coaches themselves, and as well as listen to Coach Pete Richardson and I have conversations about any and everything. So I want you guys to tune in. That's going to start between 9:30 and 10. Go to the On the Yard Network. You can follow it on Facebook as well as YouTube the same way like this show. It's going to be live on both. I'm going to share it and put it out there. So I want you guys to be sure to tune in. It's going to be really good. Trust me, it's going to be really good. We're going to do the Southern University Spring Game pregame show hosted by myself, Perry White, and Coach Pete Richardson. So that should be really good. Going to have the coaches on and talk to them, get an understanding of what it is as we move forward with the program. So give you some insight and inside news from the program, from the coaches themselves. So I want to make sure that you guys know that and tune in to that at 10:30, between 9:30, and 10 o'clock. When I leave here, I'm going straight to the stadium in order to get set up and get things going. So it should be a very good thing, and I hope you guys tune in. On the Yard Network, Facebook as well as YouTube. We on all social media, but that's where it's going to be live streamed at between 9:30 and 10. So you guys make sure you go follow and subscribe and get that notification. Once we do go live, it's going to come straight to your phone. All right, let's get ready to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Rodney Kirshner. He's going to come on and talk to us about what's happening with the do's and the don'ts on the yard today. Will it be streamed? All those things that you guys want to know. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back. More to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
For the first time in the 79-year history of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Elite Championship game determines the overall champion today. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the champions of the East, Jackson State, taking on Southern, the champs from the West. Hello, everybody. George Johnson along with Charles Mann. And I got to tell you, a great poet once said this is the way it's supposed to be. And it is. Number 11 Southern taking on number 15 Jackson State. Both programs have won 3 SWAC titles over the decade. So it's only fitting in the first SWAC championship game we determine the program of the decade. We've got a lot of offense out on the field. And yet this guy right here, he's going to tell you this game's all about D.
It's always all about D, George. You know that. It's always all about D.
An all-pro defensive end is going to tell you that. When you think about Jackson State, this is a team that is very potent offensively, but defensively they've led the SWAC throughout most of the year, and they've got the best player in defense in the SWAC, and that's Tommy Head.
Tommy Head. Get used to saying that name. You'll say it all day. He'll be all over the field. He's always around the football. He's the leading tackler on this team. He also has 5.5 sacks.
At one point this year, Southern led the nation in scoring defense. Then they ran into Florida A&M. They've got a lot of guys out there that can get it done, but at the top of the list is DeMarcus Miller.
DeMarcus Miller, the linebacker coach, Terrence Graves, told me there's one word to describe this kid, and that is relentless. He's only 5'10", 285 pounds. He makes a lot of plays, though.
Relentless, appropriate word for our third member of the broadcast team, and that's Joe Clare, who's standing by down on the sideline. Joe?
Yes, indeed. I'm down here on the field capturing all the pageantry and revelry that is black college football. Birmingham, Alabama is a lovely city. This is the inaugural SWAC championship in their city, so they came out to have a good time. I will be covering the bands, the cheerleaders, shout-outs, all of that kind of stuff. Back to you guys up top.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. You know, earlier this year, Southern beat Jackson State, their 4th straight win over the Tigers. But what's most impressive about Southern, they haven't lost a conference game in 25 outings. They put it on the line against Jackson State. We look at the starting lineups brought to you by Western Union Money Transfer, the fastest way to send money worldwide. You saw the backs. Here's your offensive line. Damon Nivens is a first-team All-SWAC member. Defensively, there's your starting lineups for Jackson State's defense. Chandler, Tommy Head, Edward Reese, pretty good middle linebacker. Rashard Anderson is a professional prospect, and they say he will be in the NFL next year. There's your starting lineup, brought to you by Western Union.
All right, we are back. Good morning to everybody out there. This is the Jaguar Journal. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Good morning to everybody watching on our YouTube Live. Good to have you guys out there. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and continue to help us as we push to 1,000. Good morning to everybody watching on our Facebook Live. I know they shared in all the groups and all over the place. Good to have you guys right there with us as well as we continue to talk about and support Southern University. And because that is a big day on the Bluff, it is Southern University spring football game, and nobody better to have and talk about the do's or the don'ts of what's happening today on campus than my guy Rodney Kirshner, the Deputy Athletic Director, also Director of Strategic Communication and SID at Southern. Man of many hats. Good morning, Rodney.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I could have just kept going and going with the hats that you wear.
Oh, you know, we all got to do our part, my man.
All right, big day on the Bluff. Spring football is going to have people there on the campus. You guys put out information for people to know about coming on campus today. Share that information out there for folks so they'll know what is it for all the questions that they may have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, we're very excited because it's our spring game today, and you know, starting at 8:00, campus is open for tailgaters and parking. We actually have quite a few RVs that came in last night, so we're excited about that. RVs are more than welcome to come today as well. They can park in Ballantyne Plaza, excuse me, or they can go into the Mini Dome parking lot. When our fans come on campus, they can come in through Swan or over the hump through Harding. And we're asking them to park in Lot B parking lot, which is right next to Jaguar Park on the north end of the stadium, right there by the field house. There is some parking over in Lot C, which is on the opposite, on the press box side of A.W. Mumford Stadium. And so overflow parking will be in the Mini Dome, and parking is first come, first serve on a basis like that. Gates will open at 12:00. The football team will start kind of trickling out about 12:10, 12:15 for warm-ups. The game will kick off at 1:00. Underneath the scoreboard, the quarterback club has a fundraiser. So they have, I think it's boiled meat plates for $25. And that will go all the way through the spring game. So we're just kind of excited about everything that's going on today. You know, we will have a still clear bag policy as always. You know, we're just trying to get our fans used to that, you know, because most stadiums are going to clear bags. So we will have some bag checkers and things like that just to make sure, you know, our fans, you know, just have a safe and fun day.
Let me ask you this. Will concessions be open today?
The concessions will not. We try to work it out, but unfortunately Airmark had a different venue or something that they just couldn't do it today.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure for the people that's listening. So make sure you get to bite, to eat, and something to drink before you head in there, okay? Just want to make sure that you guys understand. Rodney, especially as we're talking about moving forward, two things, right? You have the Graves edition, in which Coach Terrence Graves is raising money for the program, as well as season tickets. Talk to us about both of those involvement for today.
Yes. So I believe we will have a table for season tickets. We're in the process of finalizing everything with Ticketmaster. So I believe next month is when we'll officially roll out all the renewals and everything. And so we'll start getting season tickets out as well as parking. We'll start next month. And then the Graves edition, I'm glad you brought that up. So we started this campaign with Coach Graves to basically, it's a fundraiser that's specifically just for football. And, you know, we have a fundraiser for all the teams, you know, as we're raising money throughout the year. But, you know, AD Banks and Coach Graves sat down along with our teams, and, we're just looking at ways that we can really enhance the student-athlete experience on the football side. So the Graves edition now, is going to help out with our future locker room project that we're working on, along with the state, because there's some things that we have to address in the building from a state standpoint before we can really look at the locker room. But it's going to help us with nutrition, travel, equipment, just things that, we're trying to really maximize at Division I level, that other schools are starting to kind of implement and have. And this way, this fundraiser now kind of gives us a chance to, compete with Jacksonville States and the UL Lafayette and the South Alabama schools like that, are starting to put a lot more money into, their football programs.
Moving forward, a lot of people always want to know what are the upcoming projects for Southern University athletics and maybe football and everything else. Is there anything out there you can help give us a little insight on moving forward? What's down the pipe for Southern athletics?
Yeah, absolutely. AD Banks has always tries to be transparent if you can, but right now we're really looking at trying to do indoor facility, which would kind of be over there in Jaguar Park. It wouldn't be a full. It would just be kind of a covered indoor. It's not a full indoor facility, but we're really trying to work on the funds and working with some architects right now to kind of get some mock-ups and things like that. But that's something that Coach Banks really wants to get done that will enhance not only football, but enhance all our sports, because now baseball, softball, track and field, everybody will be able to go into this indoor facility and still be able to practice, as we live in South Louisiana, so we do have to deal with the weather. We're looking at doing phase 2 and phase 3 of softball, which is basically going to be, we're going to build a brand new fence. We're going to build a concession stand, press box, bathroom facility, as well as a hitting cage for our girls. And then we're also looking at a locker room project for them as well. That's roughly going to be between $300,000 and $400,000 that we're looking at. He wants to do right now. We're working with Coach Crenshaw and Ricky Weeks and some other guys, Coach Kadar, that we're looking at doing a indoor facility for baseball as well on the other side of the Roger Kadar Fieldhouse. We're trying to do a covered facility right there. So again, our guys are out of the weather, all year. They can use that around. And then we're also trying to do some renovations in Seymour with volleyball locker room and kind of looking at things like that. We just finished our soccer locker room in the field house, and we're excited about our soccer program. So those are some of the things that we're definitely have on our docket. We're just trying to secure the funds and make sure that we have everything in place.
And one more time for the people that's out there listening, give them the information once again for today with everything surrounding the game, parking, gates opening, all of that good stuff. Yes.
So parking's open now from 8 to 5 o'clock. Fans are more than welcome to come up and tailgate and have a good time. The gates will open on the press box side, so the home side, the west side of the stadium. The gates will open at 12 o'clock. It will just be that main gate right there underneath the press box. Spring game will kick off at 1 o'clock, and we just hope our fans come out and have a good time and get a chance to see Coach Graves and staff and get a chance to look at our new team.
No concession. If y'all listening, no concession. So make sure you do what you're going to do before you get in there. The bathrooms will be open, though, right?
Yes. The bathrooms will be open. And like we said, Quarterback Club they do have some drinks and boiled meat plates that our fans they'll be able to go outside the stadium, walk around to where our band gate is, because they'll be underneath the scoreboard. They'll be allowed to go there and grab a plate and then come back around.
I know the fans are excited, Rodney, looking forward to. I hope this ignites everybody to start getting your season tickets if you hadn't already, and give them the information for single game tickets, season tickets, whatever they need to do in order. If they leave today excited, like, I need to go get them. What do they need to do, Rodney?
Yes. We, biggest thing everybody can support is grabbing those season tickets. That's for sure. We will have a booth set up, but also our fans can always go to our website, www.gojagsports.com, and on the ticket section at the very top, they'll click on that. There's a season ticket application. They can go ahead and fill out that application, and it'll go right to our ticket office people. And they'll be in contact with them Monday, Tuesday of next week, and start working on, trying to secure these season tickets. And then we'll release individual game tickets next month. Exactly what the sales of those are, but our season tickets are right now. They can go ahead and sign up and get on the wait list, and then as we're figuring out the information with Ticketmaster, we'll have that roll out next month.
The $1 million question today: will the spring game be streamed?
No, it will not be.
Okay.
No, it will not be. Unfortunately, talking with Coach Graves and all that, people are. It's not that Coach is paranoid, but people are really trying to pick up on signals and play calls and personnel. And even though our personnel is going to shift a little bit from now to fall camp in August, we're just not, because of that, we're just not going to be able to stream it today.
All right, so everybody out there listening, you got to show up to the stadium. Today's spring game will not be streamed. I know that's the $1 million question. I keep getting sent. Will it be streamed? So no streaming of today's spring game. You got to show up, but guess what? It is free, so you don't have to pay anything. Just walk on in there. Rodney, man, I want to thank you for coming on this morning, sharing that information, enlightening the Jaguar Nation, and making sure that they have the right stuff before they come over. Not word of mouth. You hear it straight from athletics itself. So, man, I want to say thank you for coming in.
Oh, appreciate it, my man. Thank you for having me, and appreciate all you do for us.
All right, appreciate you. All right, let's get ready to take a break. That was the voice of Rodney Kirshner. He's the Deputy Athletic Director at Southern University. We'll come back. I'm going to close this thing out and talk to you guys a little bit, get you hyped up, all right? So y'all stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal.
Watching the Southern University Human Jukebox. Click here to watch more videos, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right, it is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I hope you guys are getting the day started the right way. And if you're listening, obviously you are with my voice. I'm Perry White. Glad to have you guys here. Big day on the Bluff, the Southern University spring football game. You heard what Rodney said. Hey, just walk on in that thing, right? Parking already open. I know everybody already out there with the RVs. It's that time of the year, right? This is our last little shot of football until we get to it's off season. Then we're going to get into the fall, and then I'm going to bring you fall camp like you never had it before. And for everybody that's listening, once again, like I said today, the game will not be streamed. As Rodney Kirshner said, the actual spring game will not be streamed, but I'm doing a pregame show on the On the Yard Network. If you've been watching the stream, you see the work that we do on the Yard Network, right? You can go over on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook. It's going to be live streamed on both of those, so you can watch it via Facebook or YouTube. Coach Pete Richardson and I are teaming up to do a pregame show today. And I know I saw somebody in the comments saying about the post-game show. You're just going to have to wait till next week on the Jaguar Journal. Give me a second to assess what it is and what I saw, and then we'll talk about it next week. But what we're going to do is lead you up into everything into today's spring game. We're going to have conversations with Coach Terrence Graves, Coach Mark Fredericks. Of course, he hasn't spoken publicly, so this will be the first time you'll get a chance to hear from him as the offensive coordinator here at Southern, coming from Prairie View. And then you get a chance to hear from Coach Henry Miller, who's the defensive coordinator, who, for me, I think defense is what kept us in a lot of games last year when we saw how struggling our offense was. So, and as well as talking to our new strength and conditioning coach at Southern. So, and then just the great conversations that Coach Pete Richardson and I are going to have together, man. I want you guys to tune in. We're going to start that live stream between 9:30 and 10 this morning. So as soon as I leave here at this studio, I'm headed over to A.W. Mumford Stadium. I want you guys to head over to the On the Yard Network. And I want you guys to catch it. We're going to probably be, and we're doing it early enough that way you can watch that, and then it's not right knocking on the door of the spring game. The spring game today kicks off at 1 o'clock. We'll be done before 1 o'clock. We're going to start about 9:30, 10 o'clock, hopefully be done. Depending how it goes, maybe 11:30, knocking on the door of 12 o'clock. But we don't know. I don't have a time frame. We just want to talk some Southern football, get some history, because, listen, anytime you get Coach Pete Richardson to sit down and be able to do something with you, I got a million questions. I got a lot to talk to him about and a lot of things to bring to the table for you guys to hear, because a lot of people have never really just heard Coach Pete Richardson just truly talk. Trust me, I have. He and I talk a lot. He came to me one time and said, hey, man, he called me homeboy. I think we ought to do something together. So I called him and told him about this. He said, you got me. Just tell me where I need to be and what time, and I did. So that should be a treat for you guys today. And I know Coach Pete Richardson spoiled you guys. He's the dad to the Jaguar Nation that just gave you everything that you wanted, right? Just have you spoiled. That's why we talk about championships and all. He just spoiled the hell out of you guys, right? And you can't get enough. You can't forget it. So we're going to have him together. He and I are going to do the Southern University Spring pregame show. So I want you guys to head over and look, On the Yard Network, we on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can follow us on all of those. Hit the subscribe button, and then you'll get that notification the moment that we go live here this morning. And I want you guys to go over it. Look, everybody say we need more and more content, right? We got the Jaguar Journal. And I do this with love in my heart every Saturday morning to get up and bring this information to you guys. But then trying to do some bigger production work, and that's what I do with my On the Yard Network, is Garrett and I run that over there on our other side. And so we want to try to give you more and more content. I've been criticized a lot about, well, what do you do when it comes to, the program and the coaches and the interviews and all of this inside look. If you go to our social media and if you go to our YouTube, look, I've been working my butt off trying to make sure I give you guys all the information, including right here with the Jaguar Journal of Southern University, and get you coverage. A lot of schools don't get nearly the coverage that we have right here that we bring not only from the Jaguar Journal but from our On the Yard Network. So that's what we're trying to do. Just open up the doors, right? Every show in Baton Rouge talks about LSU all day, every day. Just tune in to any of the show. I don't care what station. They all talk the same thing. This is our opportunity, and I make sure I bring it to you guys each and every Saturday. I hope you enjoy it. And regardless if it's Southern, we talk SWAC, we talk the MEAC, we talk all types of things. And so, it is a Southern-based show, but the way we have grown is people from other institutions have now come into the door and want to know what's going on here. And not only that, they understand and respect the fact that I talk about what's going on over there or where they at. That's why I'm thankful for people like Rob J., right? We have Travian Scott. He's the athletic director at Grambling, right? We just get all type of people to come on, and just to name a few, we've had Chris Robinson, the athletic director at UAPB, and many others to come on and talk with us. That's what this show is about. Our branding and the marketing of who we are, what we do, and what we have to offer. And everybody else has all week to talk about it. We got this one day for 2 hours, and I'm going to carry that over into the On the Yard Network at 9:30, 10 o'clock today. You guys tune in for the Southern University pregame show. Give you some inside look into before the spring game today. Let those coaches talk about their philosophy. Give you an opportunity. How often have you heard from Coach Miller, right? Defensive coordinator. How often have you heard from Coach Mark Frederick, right? You hear from Coach Terrence Graves because we have him here on the show. How often do you get to hear from Coach Pete Richardson and get to hear stories and just, take that walk down memory lane? That's what we're going to bring to you guys today. So I hope you're as excited as I am, because I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to be able to be in the booth and have these conversations with these guys and get this thing going. My guy, Garrett Edgerson, is going to get us all together. He's the head of production on this one. Look, I don't do nothing without Mike and Garrett. Them my guys. Mike going to hold it down on the radio. Garrett going to hold it down when it comes to that film. And I'm blessed to be able to be in this position of what I do, to work with these guys and to be able to be in front of you guys and everybody that's out there listening, to have this opportunity. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. Thank you to Coach Conyers, Championship Conyers, coming on talking to about the men and women tennis team. Shamel Howard, president of the Southern University Quarterback Club, coming on today talking to you about the fundraiser. They're going to be right there in the end zone where the scoreboard is. You go over there and support $25. Get support for the Southern University Quarterback Club. My guy, Jim Kleinpeter, of course, every time coming from the Advocate, giving us an inside look. And then Rodney Kirshner, Deputy Athletic Director from Southern University, giving us the idea of what to expect today when you arrive on campus. And Brandi B. Harris, who had to run over to the WBRZ News studio. She is hosting the morning news starting at 9 o'clock. So if you're waking up watching WBRZ, Miss Brandi is over there handling her business. Thank you to her as always. And my guy, Mike, bless you, Mike, on the ones and twos as always, making sure we get it together. CJ Guidry and everybody else, us as a team and the staff. And then, like I said, On the Yard Network, I want you guys to tune in. It's going to be really good. Go over there. Just follow us on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook. It's going to be streamed at the same time on both of those. It's going to be the Southern University Spring Game Pre-Game Show with myself and Coach Pete Richardson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And most of all, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's show. It's always a pleasure to get on here and have a conversation with you guys. And we'll be back next week at the same time in the same place, because always, it's the Jaguar Journal. Have a good weekend. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.